And if you couldn't tell, today's service is going to be about love. So we've been discussing love and its many, many meanings, and we consider the phrase, love is blank. And so today, we're going to share our thoughts with you, and we're looking forward to seeing how you fill in the blank yourselves. And with this month being Black History Month, Valentine's Day, as well as the theme at church this month being inclusion, we felt that all of these different aspects of love were important and wanted to include representations of all of these different ideas throughout the service. Now, you may be wondering about this trinket that you've been handed this morning as you walked in, and we thought it would be fun to use kazoos in the service as a form of applause. So whenever you see or hear something that you appreciate, feel free to toot on your kazoo. We ask that, do be mindful of the volume because, some people might be sensitive to the noise, and so we have a row reserved in the back for those who are sensitive to noise and, want to have a little separation. So feel free to move if necessary. And now, some of you may not be familiar with how to use a kazoo, so while I explain, we're going to have Ed here demonstrate. So first, you're going to want to blow into the wide end of the kazoo. Not the small end, the wide end. You will not get any sound if you blow into the small end. And, especially for our kids, but, our kids at heart too, the kazoo is for your mouth, not your eye or your ear. It's not a telescope. It's not, a doctor's tool. It's a musical instrument. So, use it as such. And you can control the volume and pitch using your voice and breath. So, let's all take a moment to practice now. All right. So, thank you. We hope you all love this as much as we do.
We light this flame to remind us, love is the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains.
Hello, my name is Christian, and my pronouns are he, him. Our church shares a covenant that we make with one another, a promise that helps to remind us of why we gather and how we want to be with one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in saying our covenant together. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power for worship, study, and service.
Good morning. My name is Kim Frank. I use she, her pronouns. I've been attending Countryside since 1992. I have two children that both went through our RE program, Jason and Sarah. They are now grown adults who attend Countryside with the addition of my son-in-law, Andy, and my grandson, River, whom you've never seen running around this church, and our soon-to-be new little baby, Rodriguez. Around this time last year, I shared a testimonial with some backstory of my own experience with church when I was growing up. It was not awesome. I also spoke of the importance of the community I find in this church, the impact the RE program had on my children, and the three of us as a family. This church was a touchstone for us. So thinking about what to say today that would not be repeating my own origin story, I started to think about all the things that I have seen and done in this church. I have been a lay minister, I've been on search committees, joined parades and protests. In this sanctuary alone, I have seen 100 youth asleep on the floor at 1 a.m. I have built structures with spaghetti and marshmallows, assembled a Lego bridge right there at another youth service. That wall was a graffiti wall for a youth conference. I have watched the sunrise many times from these seats after a lock-in. During one particularly beautiful sunrise, my then teenage daughter pulled out her guitar and played Here Comes the Sun, while three of us just sat here watching the sun come up. I have danced in here during a women's spirit that I had the honor of planning with other women from this church. I have spent countless hours vacuuming this room, moving chairs from place to place. And as many times as I have watched this space transform, it has transformed me. Many of you know how much time I spend in the senior high youth room. I think after you experience today's service, you will understand why. I have seen generations of youth come through the senior high program here. I know the power of having a space, even just once a week, where absolute acceptance, constant questioning of ourselves, each other, the world, the universe, and so much laughter are sacred tenets. Building each other up, working through the hard stuff. Some mornings we have to dig deep to find understanding. And that is a missing skill out there in the world today. But in this church, that space is protected and held dear. When I see my grandson running through these halls, confident, comfortable, I am overwhelmed with joy because I have seen his mother and his uncle do the same thing. And I know how many children will do that after him. Right here, all of that happens. Now, there are probably some of you thinking, yeah, okay, all churches have some form of religious education and value children. And I would politely disagree. I have been an unwelcomed youth in my own church. And even in other UU churches, I have seen programs fall apart because the needs of the high school youth were overlooked due to some disagreement between adults that took over the space that should have belonged to the kids. Countryside is a fierce protector. That speaks to a value that's important to me. I am 57 years old, and I'm still growing up at Countryside Church. I learn, I struggle, I grow, I process, I cry. If you know me, you know that if I'm breathing, I'm crying. As a young single mother, this church became a partner in parenting. I knew there were limits to what I could teach my children. And here they had teachers and families in RE. I had study groups with other like-minded parents to connect with. On September 11th, 2001, this sanctuary is where I brought my children that night. The minister sent out an emergency email saying the doors to Countryside will be open. And in this sanctuary, we sang hymns and we cried. There was no better place to be. The night of the election this past November, a good neighbor reached out to Reverend Pam and said, "Can we open the doors?" And the answer was yes, because people needed to gather. This church gives me hope when I can't find it anywhere else. The profound journey of a young person in this church fills me with awe and reminds me time after time that if I did nothing else right, I found this church to raise my children and myself, because I'm still figuring a lot out, but this is the right place to do it. One final thought, and I'll admit it's a tad snarky. When I joined this church, two of my siblings were attending a mega Christian church not too far from here, and my family was pretty sure Countryside was not a real church. They were very uneasy and confused that there were no rules, no dogma, you don't follow the Bible, what do you follow? Do you believe anything? And now, almost 30 years later, I'm actually the only one still attending church. Their church did not allow space for them to grow. It did not grow with them. Mine did.
Can we have all the young and young at heart come up for the Wonder Box and the message for all ages? Hi, everyone. Okay, so it's time for our Wonder Box. So, what do you guys think maybe might be in this Wonder Box right now? Yeah, what's up? Maybe. I think that's a really great guess. What do you think, William? Open arms. Maybe. Okay, does anyone want to open it? Okay, how about right here? Do you want to open it? Nice. Do you want to pass these around, share them with your friends? Okay. Make sure to share. Make sure to pass it out so everyone can hear. Okay. So while we're passing around these very cushy, very nice smelling hearts, what do we think when we see a heart shape? What does that mean to you guys? Yeah. Love, that's a really good thought. Does anyone have another thought that maybe, yeah? Kindness. Yes, kindness. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Okay. What makes your hearts happy? What's something that maybe makes your heart happy? Yeah. Love. I think that's gonna be a recurring answer today. Yeah. Food. I agree. Yeah.
Fact that it's pumping blood everywhere.
That is true. It does serve a very good physical. Yes. Yay for ice cream. Yeah, what were you gonna say? Yeah. Okay. Today we are sharing what love means to us. Just quickly, what are some things that you guys love? Give me anything. Yeah. What's up right here? Yes. Yeah.
Anything that's cute and fluffy.
Yeah.
Any living being that's cute and fluffy.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay. So, we are going to read a very special story about love called Prince and Knight by Daniel Hack. And Ed's going to hold the book for us. Yay! Okay. Okay. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far from here, lived a charming prince who was handsome and sincere. His parents knew that soon it would be time he took the throne, but with a kingdom so grand, the prince could not rule alone. So the three of them set out and traveled far and wide on a quest to find the prince a kind and worthy bride. The prince met many ladies, and he made them all swoon, but it was soon clear that he was singing a different tune. Thank you, he told his parents. I appreciate that you tried, but I'm looking for something different in a partner by my side. But while the royals were away, their land faced quite a scare. From a dragon fast approaching, breathing fire everywhere. All the villagers ran in fear, even the soldiers hid and fled. This vicious beast is far too great, we must retreat or we'll be dead. The prince heard the dreadful news, and he raced home with all his might to protect his precious realm. The prince was ready for a fight. Alas, before you fear, our prince had to face the beast alone. Along on horseback came a knight, cloaked in armor that brightly shone. The dragon charged upon our heroes, thinking it had already won. But the knight had a bold idea and raised his shield to face the sun. The glare hit the shining metal, blinding the dragon's fiery eyes. But it was what the prince did next that really caught it by surprise. The prince had climbed atop the dragon and tied a rope around its head. He wrapped the cord around the neck and down the body like a thread. The plan had worked. The dragon was caught. Its body was tied and bound. But the prince up high had lost his grip and was falling to the ground. The knight below jumped on his horse, and they began to race. The prince was caught and free from harm, held in the knight's embrace. "You saved my life, and you saved mine," they said to one another, and in a flash to each it felt there simply was no other. The knight took off his helmet to reveal his handsome face, and as they gazed into each other's eyes, their hearts began to race. As the villagers returned, it became clear to those around that the prince's one true love had at last been surely found. The king and queen had come back too, and they were overwhelmed with joy. "We have finally found someone who is perfect for our boy." And on the two men's wedding day, the air filled with cheer and laughter, for the prince and his shining knight would live happily ever after. Yay! So guys, we have a few stickers for you guys if you want to each take a sticker. I don't know where the other.
Hello, my name is still Christian. Last name Van Orden. My pronouns are he, him, and I wrote this poem while we were planning the service. Many say that love should only be this way or that, which is non-realistic, like mice and cats. Many do not know this, but tarantulas and frogs are in great bliss. Despite tarantulas being dangerous and dark, when frogs come into the situation, they are sweethearts. They are opposite sides of the range. That being said, love can change. In relationships, there is only we, so do not be afraid to show your glee. A little background knowledge. Tarantulas and frogs are great friends having a mutualistic relationship where a tarantula protects frogs from predators and the frogs eat the ants that try to eat the tarantula's eggs. That being said, no matter the species, any two species can be companions.
Hello again. It's that time. We give to support our church and community. Giving is a way to participate in love and in blessings. Generosity opens us up to more love. It is a way to sow, to commit ourselves to a beloved community where we can inspire, heal, and belong. Today, we will reap the blessings to come, and the offering will now gratefully be received.
Hey there. Once again, my name's Alex Myron, he, him, and I'm currently a senior at Barrington High School, which means that this is going to be my last senior high youth group service. I've been here the last 3 years, so once again, I just want to thank all of you guys for being here, for supporting us, supporting everything that this program, does for us and has done for me the past 4 years. So thank you, all of the advisors, parents, everyone who makes it happen. So when I was asked to think about, this theme, what does love mean for me? There's so many options that went through my head that I thought that I wanted to get up here and talk about. But one thing kind of became clear as the service began to take shape, whether it was, the hymns, the songs by U2 and Bob Marley, or, maybe the 250 kazoos we ordered, I realized that music was going to be a big part of this service. And that's when I realized what I wanted to share with you all. So music has been a huge part of my life, probably my parents' fault, always playing or singing or doing something in the house, but it's been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember, and I truly do believe that music is one of the greatest things that we have to translate those feelings of love into something tangible that we can hear and enjoy. And so today, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite instruments with you and talking about why they represent love to me, starting first with the ukulele and my voice. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun when I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles return into their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun when I say it's alright. It's alright. Thank you. So to me, you know, the ukulele really conveys that love. It feels like a soft breeze on a warm day at the beach. And, you know, that kind of makes sense. You know, it comes from the beautiful state of Hawaii. You know, days on the beach, that's what the ukulele's love reminds you of. It's always that soft, warm, happy tone. And, you know, for me, you know, I might not quite have the voice to pull it off, but when I think of the ukulele and I think of love, what I always think of is Israel Kamakawiwo'ole and, you know, his beautiful, beautiful rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I think that maybe is the clearest illustration of love that you can hear through music if you're looking for that soft, warm type of love. And I think it's just so sweet and touching. And even, I think the ukulele is so great because you don't have to be an expert to understand it or to pick it up and play it. For me, this is an instrument that I picked up a little later compared to things like the viola. I just, you know, in 6th grade, our teacher was like, how about we try the ukulele? And it's like, you know what, sure. And you can get one online, they're cheap, they're fun, and, you know, that song uses 4 chords, but it can still be beautiful and convey that same, you know, sense of love that can be heard in something harder, like my next instrument that I'm going to play, the viola. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see, those are 2 very different instruments, and I think the viola for me is a really unique one because kind of at the same time, it's not very unique at all. A lot of people don't even know what a viola is, and the viola is that middle registry in the orchestra. You know, everyone knows the violin, you know, that top, beautiful, high notes, melody. You have the, warm tones of the cello below the viola, and it's kind of in that awkward middle spot. And I've been playing the viola since 4th grade, and honestly, the only reason that I play viola is because my 3 older brothers had already taken all the other instruments in the orchestra. So, my options were limited. It was the viola or the double bass, and, as like a 4-4 4th grader, I wasn't, that was a little daunting for me. So, but I still think that even in that range of being in the middle, it has its own beauty, its own love to it, because you can have those lower notes, those rich and warm love, a big bear hug from, someone who's like 6'5", really big, just like wraps you up. You have those friends who give you those strong hugs. That's what those low notes feel like to me. But then you also have those high notes, those sharp, high notes that if you're a parent with a kid who played the violin, you probably hate them, the first 3 years, because they're grating in your ears, they're so annoying. But that kind of reminds me, because of that almost a little bit, it kind of reminds me of like that love that comes when your mom yells at you, because, it's sharp and it's harsh, but it is still love at the end of the day. And so, not saying that you do that, Mom, but that's why for me, the viola, just like everything else in this world, has its own magic and its own way of showing love. So, thank you guys.
A few moments of quiet contemplation. Take a deep breath in and release it slowly to let your body settle. Consider the many ways love shows up in your life. You were given a few small paper hearts when you entered the sanctuary. Choose one and write down the first thing that comes to mind when you think of love. On the back, or on a different heart, write or draw how you express love to another. How do you show love for yourself? Now, add how you see love show up in the world. On our title slide, we mentioned love as resistance, powerful, inclusive, and revolutionary. For the last few moments, choose the words that mean love for you. Thank you.
As you continue writing or drawing or listening to that which is in your heart, we recognize the joys and concerns within this congregation this week. Please please make sure to share anything that's going on with you that might allow us to be able to support or celebrate with you. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and there are a lot of things that affect us, and we build community by knowing all of those things and recognizing for ourselves within what you are recognizing. We offer lots of love and care to Jim Peterson, who lost his beloved sister Marilyn this week. It's so hard to lose someone close to you, but we know that her love will live on in the hearts of her family and friends. We are also sending love and care to Susan Ald, who's undergoing tests and suffering from some health issues right now, as she heals the losing of her husband. We hope that you feel better really soon, Susan. Also, Lisa Christensen's son Neil is having surgery tomorrow for terrible back pain. Sending love to Neil and to his family. We learned that Marcia Balster was in rehab recovering from a sudden illness, hopefully home on Saturday, not entirely sure. You are in our hearts, Marcia. For all the families who were displaced or touched by the burning of 2 buildings in Palatine this week, we are contributing to a fund for the families, and we'll take up a special collection in the coming weeks to support them in their tremendous loss. You can send checks to the office with Palatine Fire in the memo line, or if you want to jump on that, please do. In a joy this morning, for one of our youngsters, Lumen Monk and her basketball team, who have been undefeated this season. Way to go, Lumen, and all of those athletes. Woohoo! For those intentions that remain in the secret sanctuaries of our hearts, know that you are loved, know that you are held, know that you are seen, and know that we journey with you. If you would remain seated now and sing our reflection hymn, number 336, if you have the hymnals, All Our Memories of Love. And thank you so much.
All my memories of love hang upon high stars. All the souls I've lost to tears now the autumn jars, and the air around me here thickens with their song. Sing again their nameless tunes, sing again and strong. Willows in September touch the water clear, set among the rushes tall of the flowing year. Rising up from the lit past comes the shadowed sigh, running toward me silently, love to fortify. Many are the graceful hearts hung upon this tree, and it seems there's room for mine on these branches free. And the sky above the tree, whether wet or bright, is my ease and comforting, my good news and light.
Sorry, my stuff is falling over. Okay. Hello, my name is Leilani Smith. My pronouns are she, her. I'm 16. One of my favorite forms of remembering all of the love I've experienced and the things I love in my life is journaling. I love to journal. I've been consistently journaling for about 4 years now, and it definitely has taught me a lot and brought me a lot of gratitude and happiness. It's a great form of self-love, and I really think everyone should be doing it. Now, I realize that a lot of people want to journal but really don't know how to start. I definitely felt that way when I started. So I wanted to share with you my favorite form of journaling, which is junk journaling. Junk journaling is like a combination of scrapbooking and journaling. Basically, you collect trash and labels and receipts and stickers from your day, and you can combine them into a nice looking page to remember all the places you went and all the things that you did. I love it so much because of how creative you can make it and because of how it repurposes objects that would have been discarded for a beautiful thing. There's a slide with some of my finished ones. I don't know where it is. But I have, okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys. Huh? Yeah, I can just continue. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just describe it. I can do that much. Yes. Yeah. But I've used like places I've gone and I've taken the maps from different museums or cultural centers I've been to and cut out pictures of things we've gone to see. I have one that I went to see a show and I put the playbill in there and I wrote in it all the parts that I liked and the parts that, like the people that I liked, and I also put in receipts from the place we ate for lunch because we went to Noodles and Company. And I also like to put a lot of pictures in there. So it looks kind of like a scrapbook, but it's like current because it's just a one-day scrapbook of what you were doing all day. It's one of my favorite journaling methods. If it isn't the method that works for you, that is understandable because there are so many different ways to journal, and because of that, I really love it because there truly is a form for everybody. So, thank you guys so much. Happy journaling.
When all the people of the world love, then the strong will not overpower the weak. The many will not oppress the few. The wealthy will not mock the poor. The honored will not disdain the humble. The cunning will not deceive the simple.
All right, so now we're going to ask you guys all to join us in a responsive reading, All You Need Is Love. And, you know, if you recognize it, you probably will, and don't be afraid to join in at the end. So, yeah. There's nothing you can do, nothing you can sing, nothing you can say. It's easy. Nothing you can make, no one you can save, nothing you can do. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. 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 Love is all you need. Nothing you can know. Nothing you can see. Nowhere you can be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Hi, my name is Quinn Smith. I am 14 and my pronouns are he, him. I'm also short. Like, really, really short. Today I'm here to talk about what love means to me. And I will be using two analogies of things that I love, basketball and running. Let's start off with basketball. Now, despite being vertically challenged, I've always loved playing basketball, and it's my dream to play in the NBA. Unfortunately, being the smallest kid on the court in basketball has many issues, but I persevere through all of them, and I've learned a lot, which brings me to my analogy. Love is like playing basketball, especially defense, because while offense mostly requires skill, talent, and athleticism, defense requires hustle, grit, determination, and especially heart. You have to have a heart to love, and you have to have a heart to play defense. Because with both, you have to be able to take whatever comes your way and persevere through no matter what. If you don't work for your love, what love do you have? And if you don't work on defense, how good at basketball are you really? My second analogy is running, specifically distance running. For distance runners, you have three options for sports: distance, track, cross country, or both. I chose both, but since track season has only just started, I'm only going to talk about cross country. For those who don't know, cross country is a race where a bunch of people get together and they run a course or trail for around 3 miles. Now, when I first joined cross country, it was so difficult. I mean, running a whole mile? Why would I do that? But after the first week, I loved it, and it taught me a few things, and that is where this analogy comes from. Running is like love, because both require work, effort, and you can never give up. In running, especially during races, I will find myself always saying that the end reward of walking through that finish line with my friends congratulating me was always worth it, which kept me going. Much like how love, even if it seems hard sometimes, much like in love, even if it seems hard sometimes, you have to just keep going, because the end result is always worth it. The other thing is that you have to keep working even when there's no one there. During races, if no one's looking or watching, that doesn't mean you can stop. In practice, if the coach can't see you, you have to keep running. Because at the end of the day, the only person you hurt when not working is yourself. Just like love, you have to keep strong even when no one is there. You can't just sit around and expect someone to fall right into you. You have to work for it, and if you don't work for love, the only person you hurt is yourself. So to sum it all up, you have to stay strong. Always give everything and leave nothing on the table if you want love. And if you think that you can't because you don't look attractive, 1, you're not unattractive, you're just not your type, and 2, you just listened to a high schooler who could pass for an Oompa Loompa say he's a basketball player. So don't let your body bring you down. Thanks for listening. Hi again. Would the children please come back up on stage? We are going to perform the song for all ages, and we would like the children to come back to play the instruments. For the children, remember, this is the song you practice with I can't talk, with Cindy and Nancy a couple Sundays ago. As a reminder, these instruments are not indestructible and can and will break. So please be gentle with both the instruments and yourself. We would like to thank Cindy and Nancy for drumming with us. Everyone, let's try our best and have fun. Yippee!
All right, this reading is from 1 Corinthians 13, lines 1 through 7. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
Hello, my name is Emily, or Ed. My pronouns are he, she, they. Originally, I was going to do an art piece, but due to time, school, and other events going on, I was unable to finish that task. So I decided to do a speech instead. On Friday the 17th, on the 7th, I partook in my first protest with some people at my school fighting against ICE. We were chanting "No hate, no fear," and "Immigrants are welcome here." That march was showing me that love is powerful and can be shown and can be used as resistance. There was also a group of free people who joined us. Cars honked, which meant they supported our cause. The people walking were walking with love in their hearts and a cause they believed in. This was an experience that is something I am grateful to be a part of. We also made the Daily Herald. As for me personally, many people know me as being an artist, hence why I was going to be drawing. To add on to that, I'm a very creative person, whereas I love crochet, drawing, singing, dancing, and acting. I love my friends and family and will protect them when the time comes. This song that you are about to hear is called Out for Love from my current favorite show, Has Been Hotel.
I see you're driven by your detestation. Your every step is stoked with animus. You need a different type of motivation, or there's no way that you can handle this. I know you're thirsting for vengeance, Baggy, you're out for blood, but you'll only stand a chance if you're out for love. Out for love, love. Think of who you care about, protect them and be out for love, love. You're gonna fight without gloves long as you're out for love. Fuel yourself with the fear of losing that somebody who's your reason to live. Harness your heart and you can't help choosing to fight with all you can give. I know you're thirsting for vengeance, Faggy, you're out for blood, but you'll only stand a chance if you're out for love. Out for love, love. Think of who you care about, protect them and be out for love, love. You're gonna fight without gloves, and when that push comes to shove, yeah, you just might rise above long as you're out for love.
Oh, God. Please join us in singing hymn 299, Make Channels for the Stream of Love.
Make channels for the streams of love where they may broadly run, and love has overflowing streams to fill them everyone. But if at any time we see such channels to provide the very fountains of love for us, such is the law of love. But if we must share, if we must keep this gift unless above, we cease to give, we cease to have. Such is the law of love.
We extinguish this flame to remind us love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains.
All right. Thank you all so much for coming to our service and always showing us your love and support.
We hope you exit this sanctuary feeling loved and share that love with all those around you.
We hope you learned something about us and maybe even about yourself.
Take your paper hearts with you to Atherton Hall, where you can choose one or two to put on the paper hearts we hung up, so we can all share our thoughts of love.
As we close the service, remember to put a little love in your heart.
Yay!